So my start to rap was like kind of weird. I was working this job at the airport. I was doing like rental car sales, and it sucked. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. And one day I just brought in all my uniforms and was like, this is my last day. And then I left and I started doing like, I think it was Postmates, and yeah, it was Postmates. And one day I was waiting for this pizza and it was taking like hella long. And I was in the car listening to Tribe Called Quest.
Love it.
I heard Fife Dog rapping, and I was just like, I could probably do that. And then I just started writing, and yeah, it's been like that since. Yeah, I've loved music forever though, like since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So like it's
So have you been taking it seriously and just doing like delivery type shit ever since?
yeah. Well, I would say I more started taking it like actually seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Probably around like probably around like 2000. 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Like before that, I thought I was taking it seriously, but I wasn't. Like I wasn't.
I think that's such a like important thing to like recognize though, because I feel like a lot of people coming up and a lot of people newer to it, they feel like they are taking it seriously, but they're not doing, you know, X, Y, and Z
Yeah,
to really be taking it seriously, to be like
exactly.
pushing themselves
Yeah.
forward.
I feel like everybody should do door-to-door sales or some sort of sales at some point in their life. It'll teach you a lot about yourself.
Yeah, customer service too.
Yeah.
So, as an artist, I feel like relating the social media and the customer service to it is smart, because then you can have a wider audience if you cater to all those people.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like, do you really care about having a super wide audience, or would you rather build up that dedicated fan base?
The dedicated fan base is way more important to me. Honestly, like I really don't care about like trying to reach as many people as possible. It's just like I know that as I do this, I'm gonna find people along the way, and as long as I just continue to curate this properly, like it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
there's nothing there's nothing that you like that you take your time with and to build that like doesn't do well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like that's kind of just how it works. If you take your time and build something and be intentional about it, it's gonna be alright.
Yeah. So like when you're packaging up and getting ready to release a project, like what are the steps that you take, or what is like your to-do checklist for things that you look for before you start to release something?
So for me, the most important thing with any release is that I feel like confident about the music itself. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can play every song on the project, feel confident about what it sounds like, how it makes you feel when you hear it. Like if that's not there, nothing else will work out. So that's like the first thing. Like if I won't listen to it in my car while I'm driving around, like it's what's the point of putting it out? You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing, and then from there I have to make sure the artwork generally has like I like to match colors with sounds, and the artwork generally like you know meets that like a color profile of the sound of the project, and so those two things have to match up. It has to feel like it has to feel cohesive, and once those two things are there, honestly everything else falls in line. I start reaching out. I'll reach out to outlets that I'm familiar with, that that I've worked with before, but other than that I kind of just like make a bunch of random online content, and I will not necessarily random. There's always like a method to it. My brain works in a weird way, so the method is not all. It doesn't always make sense to people, but
Right.
It's like I'll pick a theme almost, and I will make a bunch of content on that one theme.
Yeah.
And that all that content will be for however long it will last me, and I just post whenever I feel comfortable with. I make sure I don't oversaturate and overstimulate people. I just post whenever I feel like it. I'll take some days off of social media, to make sure I've got my brain right. But really it's just like having shit ready, having the creative mind to be able to keep going. Like, as long as I make sure the art's there and like I'm okay, there's not really much of a checklist at this point. I feel like I'm still at the stage where like I'm at the stage where like I'm still trying to find I'm still finding like my core audience. And so there's not actually much of a checklist because I'm trying a bunch of new things. So I'm taking all the things that I've done before and just adding new stuff to it, really. It's like that's the seed. Like once that's planted, then everything else grows from that. Because I have projects that I've done where I look back at it and I'm like, okay, that wasn't, those two things didn't line up, and I see why it didn't. You know? But then I have certain projects or certain, singles where I'm like, everything lined up and like it was how it's supposed to be, how it looked in my head is how it came out. And they did well. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about the new project that you got coming up now.
It's called Quiet Kid in the Corner. It's like a concept. I've been kind of playing with the concept for a while now, but I'm just actually finally putting it together. I've had the concept in my head for like probably 3 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's just sat there in my head, and I'm finally putting it together. It's the first like full length album I've done since like 2017. I think. Yeah. So. Okay. Yeah. It's basically the concept behind it is like feeling othered so many times that you basically become the person in the corner watching everything that's happening. And it's like it's like almost like a story of triumph, almost like a coming of age kind of story, like realizing who you are and like leaning into that instead of backing away from it, But yeah, that's the concept behind it. It's basically almost like a biography, not a full biography of myself, but just like like glimpses into moments of my life, different moments over my whole life, actually. Yeah, so it's super personal, but also like wrapped up in a way where it's digestible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I fuck with that.
Yeah.
Who do you got on production for it?
Soufend Music.
Yeah.
That's my guy. Yeah, he's back. We got a lot of stuff. Yeah, but we'll focus on this album right now. But yeah, he produced this whole album. Yeah, my guy Estimate. He's a rapper from he maybe not from there, but he lives in Spokane for sure. But cool. He also is a mixing engineer, and he's mixing and mastering the whole project. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I did the art for it.
Dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be so dope. I think it's probably my best body of work, honestly.
Hell yeah. How many tracks?
I believe 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a real deal. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Do you find like observing like that helps you write better, or do like words just like flow to your head anyways? But
I feel like, observing like that helps me write better. Like, but I feel like being observant about everything like helps me write better. Like down to like the things I do, throughout the day, like in being like critical, not to a fault, but just critical enough to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing helps a lot with my process. Because it's like the words that come to mind when I'm writing are tied closely to what I'm experiencing in life at the moment. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just living, like living, being a human, observing.
Yeah. So how has your performances changed and that live show aspect changed since you like really decided to take things seriously? Because like you can rap the same and whatnot, but like putting on that full like stage show, is a little bit different. So like how has it changed?
I think knowing now that like like knowing now where I want to go with things, like I feel more of a calm on stage, you know. So it allows me to I don't know what the right words are. It allows me to like just I guess just be more like sure with everything that I'm doing, all the movements I'm making. I practice a lot, so when I go out on stage, I'm not, you know, it's not like I'm doing this the first time.
Yeah.
I did it a million times in my room. And worst comes to worst, I act like I'm just at home. You know what I'm saying? And so like
Put yourself there.
it works out all the time. I think that's the only thing that's really changed, just that like sureness, like it allows me to like put more energy into it, you know? Like, because I know I'm not placing my energy somewhere where I'm wasting it or where I'm going to feel like I regret it later, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is something that we had talked about in the blunt talk as well, that I wanted to talk about again, was just your approach to rapping itself and like how you just like delivery and like intent with your vocals and shit like that, and how you go about it, and like how do you practice that and how do you hone in on it and everything like that? Like what are your training regimens?
Well, I mean, I write a lot, so for the writing part, it's like, yeah, it's just a lot of like, you know, picking different types of beats, you know, to write to. You don't always have to put the stuff out that you're writing, but like, you know, like doing stuff like that. I've done a lot of that in the past, and so that's helped a lot. Not being afraid to be like influenced by an artist, you know what I'm saying, and just like listening to their shit and getting ideas from what they do. Like the best people in this world cheat, copy, and steal. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm gonna do too. So that's really big for me. Vocal tone, I kind of just try and make it sound like how I really sound like in person, you know, so that there's no disconnect for when you see me in real life and when you know, like when you hear it on actual recording.
I've had a couple of those moments.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's jarring.
Yeah. When you like hear them and they like sound really good, and then you talk to them in person and you're like, that is not at all what I thought you would sound like.
It's pretty strange, and it's like this is like, you know, it's an industry where we're using our voices and we're you know, and so it's kind of weird when it's a different voice than what's real, you know. But yeah, vocal tone, that's what I just try and sound like me. Subject matter, I kind of like lean into some of the stuff that I like the most when I listen to music, you know, like real life experiences, lifestyle type music, music that makes you want to get up and go get some money. Like it's the type of shit I like. Weed smoking music, like that's
do you have a favorite BPM to write to?
No, actually, I don't.
Really?
Yeah, cause like I just be high all the time, so sometimes it'd be like fast as shit, and I'll be like, I like that. And sometimes it'd be slow, and I'll be like, that's dope. So like it really varies. I've done it. I did this EDM track recently. And,
really?
Yeah, and it was like pretty fast. I generally like slower stuff though, like right there in the middle, like shit you can just like nod your head to, like whatever BPM this is, like whatever this is, that's what I like. That's my favorite right there.
That speed, that everything. I like that.
So I've listened to a lot of different types of music. There was a moment where I was listening to a bunch of like EDM. I was listening to like fucking what's that fucking dude? Flostradamus. I was listening to a lot of Flostradamus.
Okay.
Fuck. Yeah, that shit's like, if I listen to that now, like it has to be at a dedicated moment. Like, I'm not listening to more than like 5 minutes of it. Like it's gonna hurt my head. Like I gotta like listen to something like like I'm 28 now. I can't
Right.
really, you know, like I just gotta feed my
Okay.
brain. Like,
So
you know.
when you wake up in the morning, what's like what kind of genre or like what artist, like what are you wanting to put on
Oh,
like first thing in the morning?
first thing in the morning, generally, I feel like I'll pick one of these old, like I'll have like I got this Ronnie Dyson record that I put on.
Okay.
He has a rendition of a song for you on there. That shit's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit, like super old shit. I like that in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So middle of the day, sun is shining like it is right now out here in Seattle. And you're about to get up and mob around, maybe do some errands or maybe go kick it and shit. Who are you putting on or what kind of genre, what you listening to? Middle of the day, peak afternoon.
I might put on Max B. Why you do that?
Okay.
I might have to. I might have. I don't know. That song's a good one for
All right.
for a nice sunny day.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel
that's
it.
a good one right there. Yeah.
Now, sun is setting. You're chilling back at the crib. What are you listening to?
Probably something like Saba. Like.
Okay. All right. Now, middle of the night, you have insomnia, you can't go to sleep, so you're up late grinding. What are you listening to?
Some Griselda.
Oh, okay.
I'm listening to some Griselda because I'm kind of angry that I can't sleep.
That's so fucking funny.
It's the middle of the night music right there. I used to listen to a lot of Griselda, but like,
yeah.
It made me real aggressive, you know. I really
Yeah.
believe that what you put in your brain is what you're gonna be like, you know. So it made me real aggressive, and I just had once I stopped listening to so much Griselda, I became less aggressive. And that's not saying they're bad for you, but hey, man, music makes me feel a type of way.
Funny.
Griselda's good for the winter time. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
they're really good wintertime music.
Okay, so I have this discussion all the time with Waffles, because AJ Swade's the same way for me. He's a very like, although I listen to him year round, like peak listening time is during the wintertime, during fall and winter when it's dark, gray, gloomy. I've had like fucking probably on my playlist like maybe 7 to 8 AJ Swade songs at a time during this past fall and winter. You know, like
his Indica music album
is so good.
Something different.
But Parthian Shots is like I already know that's going to be on my end of the year list. That's what's so dope
also,
about AJ.
Astral Trap.
Yeah.
He put out, I can't remember the name of the album, but there was an album he put it out this year. It's very fucking good.
I'll have to look for that because I don't think I saw that.
Yeah. Those are two locals that I've like really been listening to a lot of their stuff.
For sure. So on that note, do you feel like you have seasonal trends in your music? Like, do you notice at certain types of the year that you write certain things or about certain things, or like utilize certain types of beats at certain points of the year? Like, are you drawn to things depending on the season?
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I'll think about like what kind of day. Like, it's weird. Sometimes I'll write, but I'll like imagine just a day, like, and what it feels like, and like I'll just write. And so I guess the season would like lend to that because it might be warm outside, you know, it might not be. But yeah, I think like when it's warmer out, I like to write more like bouncy music, like like I like to pick bouncier beats, maybe a little faster tempo.
Yeah.
Or like I'll pick something that has like a lot of sample, like a lot of like vocal samples. That's always my favorite shit, like vocal samples. But it'll be like bright, you know. Wintertime, like I'll pick something a little like warm, in like a warm inside, but it's cold outside type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still, you know, it's cold because it's artificially warm. Like it's a different type of warm than like real outside warm. So like that's what I like for like wintertime shit. Where like I feel like it's like winter and spring is kind of and there's a time in the middle there where you want both of those. Like, I think we're in that time right now where you want both of those things.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a good thing to, like, why I'm dropping my album in April. Like, that's a good time, you know, like, it just feels like the whole album feels like April, essentially.
Yeah. I love the changing of the seasons. I hate, you know, like, I love that contrast of it. I just think that it's super dope. So I think having that is something that is so cool and adds a layer of depth to it that I think makes it richer sounding, you know, which is why I think a lot of like pop music and a lot of radio hits are corny and garbage because they don't have a lot of that depth to it.
It's missing
more
feeling, like actual feeling. Because sometimes the way like somebody would traditionally mix something is not the way you want it to sound.
Right.
If I gave one of my songs to like, I don't know, somebody who like maybe traditionally mixes a pop song or like one of those like pop rappy records, you know, if I gave it to somebody like that, they'll mix it in a way where I probably won't like it.
Right.
You know, because it won't feel like what I wanted it to feel like. It just, you know, it would take all of the feeling out of it. And so, yeah, I think feeling is an extremely important thing, like in music. Like that's all music is. It's feeling turned into words.
Yeah.
Or feeling turned into sound. Let's just not say words. Sound in general, whether it's words or like instruments or like fucking computer generated instruments, whatever the fuck you want to use, man. Like, just sound, feeling, all into one. That's what music is. And so if you take out the feeling, it's not music anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It just isn't.
It's just sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's very true. And for me, like, there's no point in existing if you're not in tune with emotions and your feelings and everything. Because if you're just going through life numb, there's really no point in doing anything, you know. That's why I also think monotony and doing the same shit every single week over and over and over again, like that's why I think working a 9-to-5 job and that's it, and like you go home after that and like don't have any other hobbies or any other things, you know what I mean? Like that to me just sounds god awful.
I couldn't do it.
I could not.
I tried and I couldn't do it.
Yeah. It just does not work.
Feel right.
Yeah. Others shout out you still working out at like 7:30, 8 o'clock because that's garbage.
It's a necessary thing. So the thing is, like, I already wake up early because like, I'll sleep like a good like 4 hours just solid, and then I'll just keep waking up every 2 hours after that. Damn. Like, and so like I'm already awake at some point, and so I have a choice to just get up or go back to sleep for like another 2 hours maybe. Yeah. It gets shorter and shorter, the periods in between. Yeah. And so I'm already up. So like,
dog, I got something for that. So just let me know. You know, weed does wonders. So.
Word. Yeah. I do think I have to go up a level in my weed because I smoke so much weed that like the weed that I smoke on the regular, it like just doesn't get me high the same way anymore. So I have to like maybe change my weed.
What do you usually smoke?
I smoke a lot of Seven Wonders.
Okay.
Gelato's probably their best strain from like that brand specifically. Yeah. I smoke Pagoda.
Okay. I don't see that often. Yeah.
Let me see what else.
Are you a Gelato 33 or 41?
Both.
You're like, any way I can get it, thank you.
I like Berry Peyton a lot.
Okay, yep.
I like Berry White.
I love Berry White.
Yeah,
I love any of the berry strains though. Yeah. Anything that's like blueberry or anything like that, I like really fuck with. I also found that dabs are like a little bit more productive for me than flower is. So I dab during the day.
Okay, so I can't do that. And this is exactly why. I'm going to tell this story
yes,
now
I want to hear
so that everyone can see this. Look, check it out. So, one time, I went with my cousin and hung out with his homie, and we did we were at his house and we did dabs. We were playing 2K and we did dabs. It's my first time doing a dab. I did the dab, and like I'm watching them play 2. I don't even fucking remember if it was actually 2K or if it was a real fucking game. So it was whatever was happening there. I was watching it on the TV screen and I just passed out. Right? It's like probably like 6 o'clock when I pass out. I wake up at like 2, maybe, like 2 a.m. I don't know what's happening around me. Like I wake up, the person's home that we're at is into like some nefarious things, and I'm just like, what is going on? So I'm like, I need to get home. Like, and I live extremely far, and so I have to go with this person to get home. But to get home, we have to go do like his nefarious actions. And so we're driving around doing his nefarious actions, and I'm just like, I'm never fucking smoking dabs again, ever in my fucking life. And that shit fucked me up forever. And I'm just like, I don't think, I don't want to pass out somewhere and just, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Like, who knows, man? But yeah, that's why I don't smoke dabs.
I promise you, every time I take a dab, I do not end up roaming around the city doing underground activities. I could see why that would want to put you off of dabs. Though. Yeah. That's fucking...
But I think, like...
That's fucked up.
I don't know, man. And it made me cough extra hard. I just remember my chest feeling all raw and
probably
shit.
took a nice hot dab.
Yeah. Maybe it was too hot.
It's a lot better nowadays.
Yeah?
For
this
sure.
was like... This is like probably like 2018, 2019.
Oh yeah, way different nowadays, man. Way different.
No, this is definitely
and they have like electronic rigs.
2017 even.
Yeah, they have electronic dab rigs where you can control the temperature and you can take just like a little hit off of it that doesn't completely destroy you. So,
see, because I don't like the pens either. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're dab pens that I've tried though. But like the fucking
the cartridges.
Yeah,
those are dab pens.
Oh, word. Okay. Yeah, those fucking. Maybe I just don't like dabs. Every time I smoke those, they remind me of that moment, and I'm just like, nah. Okay, maybe I'm just scarred.
Nah, you might just be scarred. You might just be scarred, but I have a history of dabbing people out and dabbing people out at like the right amount and whatnot, and so like they get high but not like really, really high. Okay. Like you just face that blunt, like you can handle a dab, dog. Like I promise you that.
I probably can, but I think it's like a
anybody who can face an entire blunt can handle a dab. I think
it's a mental thing. I think it's a mental thing, and I just be like freaking out because that happened. It just brings me back to that.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, bro. So I think that's what happens. I gotta like work through that or something.
Yeah, that's so fucking funny to me. Shit.